The Animal Crossing series is a series of games in which you, the only human in a village full of anthropomorphic animals, go around and pick fruit, meet with, and do chores for other villages, in turn earning you interesting rewards, to say the least. Other tasks involve catching bugs, going fishing, and digging up fossils, which you can then either donate to the museum like a responsible citizen, or you can sell them for a marked up price and make tons of money from it. Because, as we all know, money buys happiness. Oh yeah, and you get to pay off your seemingly never-ending debts to Tom Nook. You know,
Fun!
I don't know what it is that makes it so enjoyable, but whatever it is, it has a special place in my heart, the likes of which only belonged with games like Ratchet and Clank. And this is coming from someone who has only played Wild World on the DS, and New Leaf on the 3DS, so even just these were enough to get me hooked. I've seen a lot of videos about fan games from other YouTubers, mostly of Nintendo games, so that got me interested. What about all the Animal Crossing fan games? But there weren't any videos that I found that cover any more than one game, let alone in a review style. So that got me thinking. Maybe there are people out there who love this series that much to warrant them making an Animal Crossing game of their own. So I researched for a while on some forums and different sites, and to my surprise, I found quite a few. I was surprised because of the scope of what Animal Crossing usually has to offer. Unfortunately, most of the games I found are either still in development or have been abandoned forever, leaving behind only screenshots, trailers, and gameplay videos. Nevertheless, here in this video I'll be taking a look at some great fan-made Animal Crossing games. I hope you enjoy. Up first, we have a game called Animal Crossing MXP. Now the download link in the video description didn't work, and I searched far and wide for an alternative link with no success. We'll just have to use the video for this one. It seems to be heavily inspired by the very first Animal Crossing. This is evident in the fact that the map is divided into sections, so when leaving one section and entering another, a transition is seen. Akin to most fan-made games, it just uses music from previous main Animal Crossing games. First, I thought they took existing Animal Crossing music and sloppily added some extra instruments over the top of it. However, upon further inspection, an inexplicably jarring guitar strum is used as a sound effect for a lot of major actions. It could just be a placeholder though. There seems to be a mix between 2D sprites and 3D models made to look like sprites that don't blend too well together. Character interaction seems to be implemented, however there is an attack option which is very out of place for such a peaceful game. It looks a bit rough around the edges, but it could be a fun game. Again, there are no download links, so there's no playing this one. Up next is one called Animal Town, and it's also just a video. With commentary. Great. It was about the only thing I could find for this one, other than an earlier version of the character creator shown. It seems to be a successor to Wild World with a very similar art style, identical music, and the whole two screens thing. A lot of the buildings are ripped right from Wild World with a graphical upgrade. The inventory screen is directly copied from Wild World as well, although with a few changes. The character is no longer displayed, instead a question mark is shown. This is likely to be a placeholder. One other change is that where letters are usually kept, tools are stored there instead. Villagers' houses are unfurnished, and interactions between villagers are rather simplistic, as there aren't any multiple choice questions or errands for you to run, and the player's house appears to be always lit, even though there is no one inside. Not much more can be said about this game in the current state. Development seems to have been stopped, and it is probably not going to resume anytime soon. Now that the non-playable fan games are out of the way, on to the one that is. The final fan game we'll be looking at today is called Hidden Land: The Lost Village. Arguably the most finished and the most simplest looking. It has an almost depressingly chill original soundtrack. And a mysterious story involving you washing up on the island shore and befriending the local townspeople who rescue you. I don't want to spoil any more of the story. This is one that should be experienced for yourself. All NPCs are human this time around, but they do say some rather strange things. The first thing you're tasked to do is find a place where you want to build your home, but the goals aren't clearly set. I couldn't figure out where I could even build my house, and according to the map, I already had a house built. So I had no idea what I was supposed to do and ended up just roaming around, talking to people and entering houses and shops. All stuff you normally do in Animal Crossing anyway, so I still had fun. When talking to some specific characters, a little line of text will come up letting you know that whatever dialogue option you choose, the game would remember it, and it will affect things that happen later on, which is a nice touch that doesn't actually appear in the main Animal Crossing games. I don't know if it's the fact that I had to use OBS to record this because the default recorder wasn't working, or just that it's an unnecessarily CPU intensive game, but it made my computer scream for help, making me end the recording early. If this video is successful enough and the games that haven't come out yet come out, I will do a part 2, and maybe even cover other franchises that have spawned fans to make their own games. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, then I'll be ever so thankful if you left a like, subscribed, and maybe even shared this with a friend who would be interested in this stuff. See you next time.